I believe love would stay gentle if I gave it all my trust. I believe hearts don't just walk away when they're holding someone's us. You spoke in quiet promises, said we never lose our way. I held on to every word you said, like they were meant to stay. I didn't question what we had, I didn't second guess. I thought love was something strong enough to pass every test. I believe love would choose me, wouldn't leave when things got hard. I believed if I stayed honest, we would never fall apart. I gave you more than I should have. I gave you all of me. I didn't fall for a person. I believed love. I know the quiet distance when you stopped reaching out. I told myself love gets silent before it figures things out. I carried both our hearts at once so you wouldn't feel the weight. I didn't know believing harder would lead me to this pain. You said you cared, you said you tried, said timing wasn't right. But love that's real doesn't hesitate when it's time to fight. I believe love would choose me, wouldn't leave when things got hard. I believed if I stayed honest, we would never fall apart. I gave you more than I should have. I gave you all of me. I didn't fall for a person. I believe if love was real, why did it feel like I was loving all alone? Why did my heart keep holding on while yours was already gone? I don't regret the heart I gave, I regret the faith I kept. I believe love would catch me, but it let me step love, and now I'm learning how to believe in myself. You stood right there beside me, but I was falling deep. I thought your silence meant you cared. I thought your touch was real to keep. I read your eyes like promises. I trusted every tone. I didn't know I was the only one already gone. I felt the pull, I felt the rush, thought love had found a home. But somewhere in the middle of us, I fell alone. I fell alone while you stayed still. I gave my heart, you felt the thrill. I jumped believing you were too, but I was falling without you. I broke my own heart trying to prove that loving me was worth the truth. I didn't lose us, now I know I fell alone. We talked about the future like it was meant to be. You said you liked the way I love, but not what it asked of me. I softened every question so you wouldn't feel the weight. I didn't see you stepping back while I was taking fate. I mistook comfort for commitment, hope for something strong. I didn't know the difference then. I just fell on. I fell alone while you stayed still. I gave my heart, you felt the thrill. I jumped believing you were too, but I was falling without you. I broke my own heart trying to prove that loving me was worth the truth. I didn't lose us, now I know I fell alone. If you were scared, I'd understand. If you were unsure, I'd stay. But you don't let someone fall in love and look the other way. You didn't push, you didn't run, you didn't say goodbye. You just watched me fall in silence right in front of your eyes. I fell alone, but I survived. I'm standing here on my own side. I won't mistake a gentle touch for someone choosing us. I'll love again, but not like this. Not without the ground beneath. I didn't fail at loving you. I fell alone. I fell alone. And I'm learning how to land. I loved you without armor. without a backup plan. I gave you every fragile part. I didn't let anyone understand. I stayed when it got heavy. I stayed when it got hard. I thought love meant holding tight, even when it left scars. I didn't love halfway. I didn't know how to pretend. I loved you like forever, while you loved me like an end. I loved hard, I loved deep, I loved you in my sleep. I loved you when you pulled away, when staying hurt more than leaving. I don't regret the heart I gave, or the nights I fell apart. I didn't lose because I cared. I loved hard. I made excuses for your silence, turned your distance into doubt. I kept believing if I loved you more, you'd never walk out. I softened every truth I had, so you wouldn't feel the weight. I didn't know loving you meant erasing myself that way. You said you tried, you said you cared, said love just changes with time. But love that fades when it gets real was never really mine. I loved hard, I loved real, I loved more than you could feel. I stayed when you were halfway gone, still hoping you'd turn around. I don't blame myself for trying, or the tears I couldn't hide. I didn't fail at loving you. I loved hard. If loving me felt like too much, you could have told me then. I would have handled broken truth better than breaking like this. You didn't shatter me at once, you didn't say goodbye. You just let me keep on loving while you let it die. I loved hard, now I see that's what broke something in me. But I'll never apologize for the way I tried. I'll love again, just slower now, with stronger ground beneath my heart. I didn't lose myself for nothing. I loved hard, I loved hard, and I'm learning how to love myself. I still wake up in the middle of the night, reaching for a feeling I can't find. Your side of the bed is colder now, but I still sleep on mine. We said we'd never let it fade, said love like ours would last, but promises sound different when they're living in the past. I miss us, the way we laughed, the way your hand fit into mine. I miss believing we were safe, like we had all the time. I don't want you back like before. I don't need the pain again. I just miss who we were. I miss us. We used to talk about forever, like it was close enough to touch. Now I avoid your name out loud, because it still feels like too much. I see pieces of you everywhere, in songs and passing cars, but missing you is different from missing who we are. I've learned how to move forward. I've learned how to be okay, but healing doesn't erase what my heart remembers every day. I miss us before the doubts, before love felt hard to hold, when staying didn't scare us and leaving wasn't told. I don't hate you, that's the truth. I don't wish we tried again. I just miss the love we had. I miss us. If I could freeze one moment, I know exactly where, right before we started breaking, when love was still right there. We didn't end in anger, we didn't end in flames. We just slowly lost each other, and nothing stayed the same. I miss us, softer now, like a memory that doesn't cry. I love again, I always do, but not the way I loved you that time. I've let you go, I've moved ahead, I'm stronger than I was then. I don't miss you like I thought I would. I'm learning how to let that go. I felt the change before you spoke. In every pause, every sigh, you held me like you were tired, but said you were still mine. You told me not to worry, said we just needed time. So I believed in maybe and ignored every sign. I learned to read your silence like it meant something good. I told myself that love survives if someone waits like I would. I stayed hoping you'd come back to me, that your heart would remember us. I stayed believing what you said when your actions weren't enough. I would have stayed through anything if you had just tried. I didn't leave when love got hard. I stayed hoping. We still share the same nights, but slept worlds apart. I was holding on to promises, you were letting go of my heart. I softened every question so I wouldn't make you run. I loved you quietly while you were already done. I thought patience was devotion, thought waiting meant I cared, but love shouldn't feel like standing still while someone disappears. I stayed hoping you'd come back to me, that your heart would remember us. I stayed believing what you said when your actions weren't enough. I would have stayed through anything if you had just tried. I didn't leave when love got hard. I stayed hoping. If you were scared, you could have told me. If you were tired, I'd understand. I could have handled the truth better than losing you like this. You didn't break me with goodbye, you didn't end us fast. You just let me love alone while the future slipped past. stayed hoping. I stayed hoping until I learned to let go. We had all the time we needed, at least that's what I believed. You said soon, like it was certain, like love would never leave. I held on to every promise, like they were something safe. But minutes turned into distance, and love didn't wait. I asked you if we'd make it. You said I don't know yet. I stayed hoping time was patient, but time never is. Love didn't wait for us when you needed space. I stood still in the moment you were already away. I would have grown with you, I would have changed, but love doesn't pause for hearts that hesitate. I was ready, I was true. Love didn't wait for you. We talked about the future like it wasn't standing near. You said you had to find yourself. I stayed right here. I softened every sharp goodbye, pretended I was strong. But loving you in maybes is what went wrong. I thought patience meant devotion, thought waiting showed my heart. But love doesn't survive when it's always put on pause. Love didn't wait for us when you needed space. I stood still in the moment you were already away. I would have grown with you, I would have changed, but love doesn't pause for hearts that hesitate. I was ready, I was true. Love didn't wait for you. Yeah, if you weren't ready, you could have told me. If you were scared, I'd understand. I could have faced a broken ending better than holding empty plans. You didn't leave with anger, you didn't break my trust. You just took too long to choose me, and that was enough. Love didn't wait. Now I see I was alone, believing in maybe. I don't regret and I finally let go. We didn't end with shattered words or doors slammed in the dark. We just stopped reaching for each other, like we forgot where we started. You sat beside me on the couch, your hand so close to mine. But something in the air felt wrong, like love was running out of time. I felt it in the way you sighed, in every absent glance. Love doesn't always leave in flames, sometimes it leaves in chance. Love slipped quietly out the door while we were pretending nothing changed. I was holding on to what we were, you were letting go in gentle ways. No goodbye, no final cry, just distance growing overnight. I didn't hear it break apart. Love slipped quietly. We still said, how was your day? Still slept on the same side. But I was loving you completely, you were already halfway outside. I blame myself for every crack, thought I wasn't enough. But love shouldn't feel like guessing or proving you're still loved. You stopped choosing us out loud, stopped meeting me halfway. I stayed quiet, hoping silence would make you wanna stay. Love slipped quietly out the door while we were pretending nothing changed. I was holding on to what we were, you were letting go in gentle ways. No goodbye, no final cry, just distance growing overnight. I didn't hear it break apart. Love slipped quietly. If you were tired, you could have told me. If you were scared, I'd understand. I could have handled broken truth better than losing you like this. You didn't leave with angry words, you didn't say goodbye. You just loved me a little less as the days went by. Love slipped quietly, now I see. I was alone, believing it maybe. I don't hate you, that's not who I am. I just wish you'd taken my hand. I'll heal from this, I'll find my way, learn to love what's real again. I didn't lose you suddenly. Love slipped quietly. Love slipped quietly. each other carefully, like glass we couldn't drop. Every word felt like a balance, every touch afraid to stop. I tried to be what you needed, tried not to ask for more. But love shouldn't feel like walking on a cracking floor. I felt the fear behind your smile, the way you pulled away. Love doesn't break all at once, it learns how not to stay. Love was fragile in our hands, like something we couldn't stand. I held on tight, you held your breath, afraid of what we demand. I would have fought for all of us, but you were scared to try. I didn't fall out of love with you. Love was fragile. We talked about forever softly, like saying it too loud might end it. You said you weren't ready yet, I said nothing, just pretended. I shrank myself to keep you close, ignored the warning signs. I was building something real, you were buying time. I blame myself for every crack, for loving deep and true. But love shouldn't need to be smaller just to stay with you. Love was fragile in our hands, like something we couldn't stand. I held on tight, you held your breath, afraid of what we demand. I would have fought for all of us, but you were scared to try. I didn't fall out of love with you. Love was fragile. If loving me felt like pressure, you could have told me then. I would have handled broken truth better than losing you like this. You didn't leave in anger, you didn't say goodbye. You just stopped holding on and watched it slowly die. Love was fragile, now I see, not because of you or me, but because only one of us was brave enough to believe I'll love again, but differently, with stronger hands and honesty. I didn't lose the heart I gave. Love was fragile. Love was fragile, and I survived the fall. We didn't fall like fireworks, no sparks across the sky. We learned each other slowly, in quiet lullabies. Your hands felt like a shelter, your voice a place to rest. For a while I forgot the world and things I'd lost before that. I didn't guard my heart with you. I didn't feel the storm I thought that meant forever, because love felt warm. Love was warm when you were here, like nothing bad could reach me. I let my walls fall piece by piece, because you felt so easy. I don't miss the way you left, or how it all went wrong. I just miss the way it felt when love was warm. We talked about the future softly, like it wasn't far away. You said we'd figure it out together. I believed every word you'd say, but comfort doesn't promise staying, and warmth can slowly fade. I didn't know how fast a heart could turn to something colder that way. You stopped holding me at night, stopped pulling me in close. I stayed chasing what we had while you let go. Love was warm when you stayed near, before the silence grew. I kept loving who you were. You became someone new. I don't blame you for leaving. That's not where the pain's from. I just miss the way it felt when love was warm. If I had known the ending, I still would have stayed. Some loves teach you how to feel before they slip away. You didn't break me loudly, you didn't cause a storm. You just left me remembering when love was warm. Now was warm, now I see, that's why it still lives in me. I'll love again, just not the same, not with my heart so open. I don't regret the love I gave, or the nights we held on. I just miss the way it felt when love was warm. Love was warm, and I still remember. We didn't end with screaming words or reasons we couldn't name. One day you were right beside me, the next you weren't the same. Your touch felt unfamiliar, your eyes looked past my face, like something we were holding just slipped without a trace. I searched the room answers for something I could fix. But love doesn't leave a letter when it quietly disappears. Love went missing in the middle of us, somewhere between I'm fine and I'm tired. I was still holding on with both hands. You were already letting go in silence. No fight, no warning sign, just distance growing day by day. I didn't see it coming. Love went missing. We still shared the same old habits, still slept side by side, but I felt alone beside you, even when you were mine. I blame myself for every change, thought I didn't love enough. But love shouldn't feel like guessing or chasing what was once. You stopped choosing us out loud, stopped meeting me halfway. I stayed longer than I should have, hoping love would find its way. Love went missing in the middle of us, somewhere between we're okay and goodbye. I was loving like it still mattered. You were already saying goodbye inside. No ending I could prepare for, no moments to explain. I didn't lose you suddenly. Oh, love went missing. If you were falling out of love, you could have told me then. I would have handled broken truth better than this quiet end. You didn't leave in anger, you didn't slam the door, you just slowly disappeared until love wasn't here anymore. Love went missing, now I see. I was alone believing in maybe. I don't hate you, that's not me. I just wish you'd set me free. I'll heal from this, I'll find my way, learn to trust what's real again. I didn't lose my heart by chance. Love went missing. Love went missing. And I was the last one looking. I learned how to walk away, how to say I'm doing fine. I packed up all the reasons and left your name behind. I changed the way I love now. I don't fall the same. But even when I left you, my heart remained. I told myself it was over, that I was strong and brave. But bodies can move on while hearts still stay. My heart stayed when you let go, when you stopped trying. I walked away with steady feet, but inside I was crying. I did everything I could to not fall apart that day. I left with all my pride intact, but my heart stayed. I don't replay the messages, I don't check if you're okay. I don't ask about your life now, or the love you found that way. But sometimes in the quiet, when the lights go low, I feel the weight of everything I never got to show. I forgave the way you changed, I forgave the truth. But healing doesn't mean my heart forgot you. My heart stayed when you let go, when you stopped trying. I walked away with steady feet, but inside I was crying. I did everything I could to not fall apart that day. I left with all my pride intact, but my heart stayed. If loving me felt like too much, you could have told me then. I would have handled broken truth better than this slow end. You didn't fight, you didn't fall, you didn't ask me to stay. You just watched me walk away while my heart stayed. My heart stayed, but I want any more. I'm learning how to take it back. I'll love again, just not like before. Not with pieces I never got back. I don't regret the love I gave, or the nights I tried to stay. I left with everything I had, but my heart stayed. My heart stayed, but I'm learning how to bring it home. We didn't end with shattered words or anger in our eyes. We just stopped reaching for each other. Let the silence decide. You packed your things so carefully, like you didn't want to wake the pain. I watched you move around the room like everything was still the same. I felt it in the way you sighed, in everything you didn't say. Love doesn't always break in pieces, sometimes it drifts away. It was a quiet goodbye, no tears, no last fight, just two hearts standing still in the middle of the night. I wanted to ask you to stay, but I was too tired to try. I didn't lose you loudly. It was a quiet goodbye. We still said take care softly, like strangers being kind. I memorized your last goodbye and pretended I was fine. You didn't promise you'd come back, you didn't close the door, you just left enough space behind for me to hurt some more. I stayed calm, I stayed composed, didn't let my voice shake, but holding it together is its own kind of break. It was a quiet goodbye, no reason, no blame, just love fading slowly without calling its name. I held all my tears inside, watched you walk out of sight. I didn't lose you suddenly. It was a quiet goodbye. If you had raised your voice, if you had made it hurt, maybe I'd have something to hate, something to work through. But you left so gently, like I shouldn't fall apart, and that's what makes it harder. You took the sound from my heart. It was a quiet goodbye, but it echoes in me every night when the world slows down and it's just my memory. I don't wish you would come back, I don't ask you why, I just sit with what we lost in this quiet goodbye. Quiet goodbye. And I'm still learning how to breathe. I've learned how to live without you, how to breathe when it gets quiet. I say your name less often now, but my heart still won't deny it. I folded up the photographs, put the past back in a drawer. But every night when the lights go out, I feel you like before. I don't reach out, I don't call, I don't ask you to stay. But letting go is harder than walking away. I'm still holding you in my mind, in the spaces you left behind. I've moved on in all the ways I should, but not the way I thought I could. I don't want you back, it's true, but some nights I'm still holding you. I walk past places we once were, try not to slow my pace. I don't miss the way you left, I miss the way you felt safe. You said time would make it easier, said love would fade with pain. But love doesn't disappear that way, it just learns a different name. I forgave the way it ended, I forgave the truth, but healing doesn't stop the heart from missing you. I'm still holding you in my mind, in the spaces you left behind. I've grown stronger, I've grown new, but there's a part that still knows you. I don't want you back, it's true, but some nights I'm still holding you. Maybe love doesn't leave at once, it slowly loosens its grip. I don't cry the way I used to, but sometimes I still slip. I don't wish for yesterday, I don't want the pain again. I just miss the way it felt when we were more than friends. I'm still holding you, but softer now, like a memory that knows how to stay without pulling me under, to live without the thunder. I love again, I always do, but I'll carry a part of you. I don't live where we once were, but I'm still holding you, still holding you, and learning how to let go. I trusted you with all my quiet, all the things I couldn't say. You held my heart so gently, I thought it meant you'd stay. You said you cared, you said you tried, said love was never easy. I didn't know that loving you would leave me feeling empty. I blame myself for every crack, for every time you changed. But love shouldn't feel like breaking just to make someone stay. You broke me without raising your voice, without saying goodbye. You broke me in the little things, in the nights you wouldn't try. Like we were okay to everyone outside, but I was slowly disappearing, standing right by your side. You held me like a habit, not like someone you'd lose. I was choosing us every day, you were choosing to choose. I stayed kind, I stayed kind, I stayed longer than I should. I thought loving you harder would do some good. You broke me without raising your voice, without saying goodbye. You broke me in the little things, in the nights you wouldn't try. But I survived, I'm still here, I'm still alive. I won't blame myself again for loving deep, for trying then. I'll heal from this, I'll find my way, learn to feel whole again. I didn't lose myself for nothing. You broke me. You broke me. But I'm putting myself back together. You held my hand like you meant it, said my name like it was true. But when the moment asked for courage, you didn't know what to do. We talked about someday maybe, like it was something safe. I stood right there with open arms, you stood there hesitating. I felt the fear behind your smile, the doubt you wouldn't say. Love doesn't fade from lack of feeling, it fades when someone won't stay. You didn't choose me when it mattered, when love asked you to stand. I was ready for the weight of us, you let it slip from your hands. I would have fought through anything if you had tried to. I didn't lose you to someone else. You didn't choose. We stayed close but not committed, shared a bed, not a plan. I was building something real, we were just seeing if you can. I blame myself for all your silence, thought I was asking too much. But love shouldn't feel like waiting for someone's final touch. You said you cared, you said you tried, said timing wasn't right. But love that waits forever is already saying goodbye. You didn't choose me when it mattered, when love asked you to stand. I was ready for the weight of us, you let it slip from your hands. I would have fought through anything if you had tried to. I didn't lose you to someone else. You didn't choose. If you were scared, I'd understand. If you were unsure, I'd stay. But you don't leave a heart halfway and call it loving anyway. You didn't break me with harsh words, you didn't end us loud. You just stood there needing time while I was choosing us. You didn't choose me, now I see. I was alone in what I believed. I gave you love without a doubt. You gave me silence, nothing out. I don't regret the heart I gave, I regret the nights I stayed. I didn't fail at loving you. You didn't choose. You didn't choose. And I'm choosing myself now. I was tired of running circles, of never feeling sure. Then you came in quiet moments, like I'd been here before. Your voice felt like a promise, your arms a place to breathe. I stopped looking for exits, you made it easy to believe. I let my guard down slowly, didn't feel alone. I didn't know that comfort could feel so much like home. You felt like home when you held me, like I finally belonged. I let myself believe again that nothing could go wrong. I built my heart around your name, I learned to stay. That's why it hurts the way it does. You felt like home. We talked about forever like it wasn't far away. You said we'll figure it out, I believed every word you'd say. But comfort isn't commitment, and warmth doesn't always stay. I didn't see the distance growing until you slipped away. You stopped pulling me closer, stopped needing me around. I stayed fixing all the silence while you were shutting down. You felt like home when you held me before the walls went cold. I was loving with my whole heart. You were letting go. I don't blame you for leaving. That's not where the pain's from. I'm just broken because once you felt like home. Why did you let my heart unpack if you weren't living here? I could have handled distance, I could have healed in time, but losing where I felt safe cuts deeper than goodbye. You felt like home, now I see. That's why you still live in me. I'll love again, just slower now, with doors I didn't need back then. I don't miss the way you left, or the words you never spoke. I just miss the way it felt when you felt like home. You felt like home, and I'm learning how to leave. I was tired of breaking gently, tired of locking every door. Then you smiled like you meant it, like love wasn't war. You spoke slow, you listened close. You didn't rush my pain. For the first time in a long time, I could breathe again. I let my guard fall quietly. I didn't feel afraid. I thought maybe I had finally found a place to stay. You felt safe when you held me close, like I didn't have to be alone. I let myself believe again in something I could lean on. I gave you all the parts of me I used to hide away. That's why it hurts the way it does. You felt safe. You learned my fears by heart, knew where I'd break into. I told you things I never said to anyone but you. You promised you weren't leaving, said you'd never disappear. But comfort doesn't mean forever. I learned that here. You didn't hurt me suddenly, you didn't walk away. You just slowly stopped being who made me feel okay. You felt safe when you stayed too long, then left when I was all handled distance, I would have handled pain. But losing safety quietly hits deeper than the flames. You felt safe, now I see. That's why it broke something in me. I don't hate you, that's not true. I just miss who I was with you. I'll love again, just slower now, with walls I didn't need back then. I didn't lose you lovely. You felt safe. You felt safe. And that's why it still hurts. You let me fall without a warning, like I was safe to land. You held me close in all the ways that made me understand. I told you every fragile truth, every place I break. You said I didn't have to hide, so I made the mistake. I trusted every gentle word, every calm disguise. I didn't see you letting go right in front of my eyes. You let me love you all the way, then watched me do it alone. You let me build a future while you were already gone. I gave you all of me for free. You never asked me to stop. You didn't break my heart loudly. You let me. You let me believe in forever, and something I could lean on. You let me think I finally found where my heart belonged. I softened every fear I had so you wouldn't feel the weight. I didn't know loving you meant choosing second place. You didn't lie, you didn't scream, you didn't push away. You just stayed quiet long enough for love to fade. You let me love you all the way, then watch me do it alone. You let me build a future while you were already gone. I gave you all is what broke something in me. I don't hate you, that's the truth. I just wish you'd stop me too. I'll love again, but differently, with clearer lines and honesty. I didn't lose myself by chance. You let me. I'm learning how to let go. I've loved before, but not like this. Not with my guard so low. I didn't fear the ending then. I didn't need to know. You spoke to me so honestly, like nothing had to hide. I let my heart believe again and step back inside. I didn't question what you said, I didn't read between. Every time you looked at me, you felt different. You were different when you held me close, like I didn't have to pretend. I stopped protecting every part, I let myself fall in. I don't miss the way you left me, or the nights you changed. I miss the way I felt with you. You were different. You listened when I talked too much. You stayed when I was quiet. You knew my fears without a word and never tried to deny it. We talked about tomorrow like it wasn't far away. I didn't see you pulling back, I didn't feel you fade. I thought different meant forever, I thought safe meant stay. I didn't know the softest love could walk away. You were different when you chose me before choosing felt unsure. I was loving you completely, you were still wanting more. I don't blame you for leaving, that's not where the pain's from. I just miss who I was with you. You were different. If you knew it wouldn't last, why did you hold me that way? Why did you calm my restless heart? If you couldn't stay, I could have handled distance, I could have healed in time. But losing something different hits deeper than good. not the same, not with my heart so open. I don't regret the love I gave or the nights I believed. I don't miss you the way I thought I would. You were different. You were different, and I'll always remember that. I hear your name in crowded rooms like it's calling out to me. I don't turn around anymore, but it still steals my sleep. I learned to live without your touch. I learned to let you go, but something in the way they say it still hits me low. I thought time would soften everything, thought pain would lose its shape, but some words never fade. Your name hurts when it falls from someone else, like I'm remembering by myself. I don't want you back, I swear it's true, but your name hurts like it used to. I've moved on in 1,000 ways, but not from how it sounds when they say your name hurts. I packed away the memories, left no photos on my phone. I don't drive by the places that we used to call home. You're just a word to everyone, but you're a lifetime to me. They say it like it's nothing, like you didn't change me. I forgave the way it ended, I forgave the truth, but healing doesn't silence every part of you. Your name hurts when it falls from someone else, like I'm remembering us by myself. I don't want you back, I swear it's true, but your name hurts like it used to. I've moved on in 1,000 ways, but not from how it sounds when they say your name hurts. Maybe love doesn't disappear, it just hides inside a sound. I don't cry, I don't break down, but I still feel it now. I don't miss the way you left or the nights we fell apart. I just miss the version of me that didn't flinch at your name in the dark. No name hurts, but I'm still here, stronger than I was back then. I won't let one word hold me like it used to do again. I'll love again, I know I Your name hurts. Your name hurts. And that's how I know I loved you.